this year, the Day of the African Child has some special significance. And the celebrations mark other significant things for our children. We are marking the 30th anniversary of the Day of the African Child, as we mark the Day of the African Child 2021. We are at the same time reflecting and reporting on our first 5-year cycle of the 2040 Agenda Africa Fit for Children. And our theme for this year is 30 years after the adoption and accelerated implementation of Agenda 2040 for an Africa Fit for Children. The Africa Fit for Children has aspirations for which we aspire for our children, including the provision of effective national frameworks for advancing children's rights, putting in place effective child-friendly national legislative policies, ensuring that every child's birth and other valid statistics are registered, ensuring that every child survives and has a healthy childhood, ensuring that every child survives and has a healthy childhood, ensuring also that we nurture every child to grow up well-nourished with access to the basic necessities of life, to ensure to provide quality education that every child benefits from, guaranteeing the protection of every child against all forms of violence, exploitation, and neglect and abuse, upholding child-sensitive criminal justice system for the benefit of the child, and a value of our society where every child is free from the impact of armed conflict and other disasters or emergency situations. And finally, a culture where children's views matter and are valued, where children are heard. In line with that, we have brought on board today panelists from different sections, and we hope our children will interact with the panelists and they will raise questions where necessary. Mine was just open. I once again wish to thank all of you for joining. Our children, our county coordinators, the planning committee. I know it's a weekend and people have sacrificed their weekend in the care for our children. I particularly wish to thank Mtoto News also for their technical support and cooperation and collaboration every time. And with that few remarks, I now wish to call on our chief guest, Hon Justice Teresia Madeka, to say a few words, and thereafter we get on with our day's business. Thank you very much. Welcome, Judge. Karibu. Okay. Judge, you're muted, I think. No. Okay.
No. Can you hear me now? Nanisikia?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Hamjambo tena watoto wa Kenya mpo? Watoto wa Kenya tena hoye. Those of you in that office, can we just appreciate our children, acknowledge their presence? Watoto wa Kenya hoye, watoto wa Kenya mpo? Leo ni siku yenu kwa maana nyinyi ndio wageni mashuhuri katika mkutano huu wa leo. Na ningependa kuwakaribisha nyote. I want to welcome you and to just ask you to feel at home. Wadau ambao tumekaribishwa hapa leo kutoka sekta za watoto, hamjambo. Nataka tukumbuke tukiwa hapa leo kwamba siku hii ni ya watoto na kwamba haki ya mtoto ni jukumu letu sote pamoja. nataka tu kukubaliana na Bwana Nur kwamba leo tunaposherehekea tunaanza sherehe za Day of the African Child kwa njia mwafaka. And I'm proud to be associated with this celebration hii ya leo because tumeanzia mahali ambapo inafaa kwa kuwapatia nyinyi watoto ambao ndio siku yenu, ndio wakati wenu, nafasi ambao ni ya kikatiba na ya kisheria na pia ya haki kama haki yenu ya kibinadamu kuweza kuzungumza na watu ambao wamepatiwa jukumu la kuwashughulikia na kuwafanyia kazi katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo mkiwa popote mlipo, wherever you are as a child of Kenya, today during this session, just remember that we have been given the jobs we do to work for you as the children of Kenya. So you have every right to question us, to query us, to talk to us, to discuss with us, and to find out how we go about it. And to tell us, na kutuelezea mahali ambapo mnaona upungufu. Historia kidogo tu ningependa tukianza. Tulishaelezewa kwamba we celebrate the Day of the African Child because of something that happened in South Africa in 1976. It is important kukumbuka historia hiyo, to remember that history. Because children somewhere in that country reached a point where nobody was listening to them. They were unhappy with the education system. They had not been given a chance to say what they thought was good for them. And when they tried to express it, it was suppressed. So what did they do? They took to the streets. But it's different in Kenya because we have the opportunity given to us by our constitution to give you the opportunity to speak to us and to never have to go to any street to demand for your right, because we are here and we have the duty to listen to you and to answer to your questions. We have the African Charter. I hope somewhere in school or in your rights clubs, you are able to discuss that charter. But we also have the Children's Act, which reproduces that charter in our Kenyan law. I also hope that during these celebrations and after, you will get the opportunity to discuss the law, that Children's Act and what it says. But the most important thing ni kwamba our law gives you the right to participate as a Kenyan child. Ninaelewa kwamba kuna mambo mengi yanafanyika bila watoto kuulizwa what their view is, ingawa katiba inasema hivyo na ingawa sheria ya watoto inasema hivyo. Kwa hivyo sisi kama watu wazima ambao tumepatiwa hiyo kazi pia tuna jukumu la kuwaelezea pengine ni kwa nini hatufanyi hivyo, ingawa tumekubaliwa ama tunaelezewa na sheria tufanye hivyo. Lakini tukumbuke pia haki zinakuja na responsibility, because the same charter, hiyo African Charter, inatuambia watoto wana haki zao na pia wana responsibility au majukumu. Na majukumu hayo pia yamewekwa katika sheria ya watoto ya Kenya, ambayo ni kwamba mtoto mahali alipo atafurahia haki zake na pia atayafanya majukumu yake katika jamii, kusaidia nyumbani, kusoma vizuri, kusaidia nchi na mambo kama hayo. Kwa hivyo leo tukiwa na hayo katika in our minds, tukumbuke ni siku yetu watoto, tuzungumze tukiwa free, tukijua kwamba this is a safe space, tunaweza kuuliza maswali yoyote na tutajaribu iwezekanavyo kuweza kuwajibu. Yale ambayo ningezungumza kuhusu judiciary mali nafanya kazi nitazungumza baadaye. Kwa saa hii nitaka kuwakaribisha na kuwaelezea kwamba leo ni siku yenu ya kuzungumza na sisi. Karibuni sana, mnakaribishwa. Asanteni sana. Asante Bwana Nuru.
Asante sana kwa judge. Mbona niongee Kiswahili msijamu mbaya. Asante sana kwa asante sana kwa kutufungulia mkutano. So the the next session, I think we are going to invite the representative to the AG, Wanase, to give us some opening remarks.
Asante.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, at least I can hear you, but maybe volume kidogo.
For blessing this occasion. This is a very important day for the children of Kenya and the children of Africa. Directors who are represented in this forum, NCCS staff, representatives from children stakeholders, all protocols observed. This is a very important occasion for children of Africa. I'd like to state that the laws of Kenya protect the children of Kenya. We have the Children's Act. We have the Constitution, which is the supreme law, the various articles protecting the children of Kenya. Other articles in the Constitution. And we also have the Children's Bill, which is now in the Parliament, which has come up with several provisions that protect the children's interests. There are various provisions, and we are ready for any questions from the children at this moment. We'll be able to answer all the questions as they come. Thank you very much, and watoto karibuni. Watoto oye! Karibuni sana. We are there to protect you. You are the future leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Wanase. The next one I understand there is a member of the board in the team. Oh, Wanase is a board member. Okay, so the next person I'm going to, there are CSOs in the team. So they are just going to speak shortly on what they do so that the children can be able to know the kind of questions that they can ask to these guys. I'm going to start with Beatrice Mwema from Childline. Beatrice?
Good morning.
Please switch on your camera for the children.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Beatrice. I work for Childline Kenya. Childline runs the national helpline for children. So it gives a platform for children to air their concerns and to report any issues that they have. And we also offer free counseling services to children. So kindly prepare questions in that line about the helpline for children. It is 116. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Helen, kindly give me the name of the sign language interpreter. I upgrade them. Thank you so much for giving us that opportunity. Just send me a message with the name of the person so that you can upgrade the sign language interpreter for joining for sign language interpretation. So next in line is Crispin Okello from Child Space Organization. So he's going to tell us what they do and the kind of question that you can ask.
Hello?
Yes, go on, Crispin.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, go on, Crispin.
Yes, my name is Crispin Okelo. I work for Child Space Organization here in Nairobi, in Ruaraka, Babadogo area. And today, I don't think I'll have much to say, but what we do with the children is simply to ensure that children have the information to they have access to to information that information of things that affect them. So we sensitize them, we train them on their rights, we train them on talents, we mentor them on behavior formation process and the behavior change process. So today, I think I'll not have really much to say, but I have two children, a boy and a girl, who later during the session will give each one of them to at least say something and ask questions in line with the with the theme of the year 2021 BSc. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Crispin. Next, we have Gertrude Kiilu from ODPP. Just give us some remarks and what you do at ODPP.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Gertrude from the ODPP. And maybe I'll mix Kiswahili and English. Ofisi yetu ni mkurugenzi mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma. I'm really trying to take after Lady Justice. And on our part, the DPP is very committed in ensuring that every child who finds themselves within the criminal justice system encounters a friendly justice system, and that every child also has access to justice. And in doing this, we ensure that every child who comes to meet us, either as a child in conflict with the law or a child in contact with the law, encounters a justice system that is responsive, that takes their best interests into consideration. And we also want to ensure that children are not only seen, but that they're heard and that their concerns are going to be addressed. And in furthering these things, we've developed policies which focus to assist children in a child-friendly justice system. The recently developed diversion policy and the plea bargaining policy. And the DPP still continues to assure that he's dedicated into addressing the needs of children. Thank you very much. And we are grateful to be part of the Day of the African Child celebrations.
Thank you so much, Gertrude. It's a pleasure having people who get children together side of the bench. Next, we have Laura I hope I don't bother your name. Laura Bonera. I'm not going to do this. My tongue cannot allow me to say the rest of the word. So, karibu sana, Laura. Laura, can you hear us? Laura? I think as we wait for Laura to connect, we have Frederick Motinda. Please tell us, Frederick, what you do.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Habari zenyu watoto. I'm Frederick Mutinda Mwangangi. I work with the Catholic Leave Services, and I work in an initiative that is working closely with governments. And for this matter, government being the National Council for Children's Services and DCS, on an initiative called Care Reform. And this is a government initiative whereby we are really advocating for promotion of children being brought up in safe and nurturing families, and trying to ensure that those issues that make children be separated with their families to go to institutions are really addressed. And those children who are in those children homes, at least they are being prepared to be reintegrated into safe and nurturing family and community environment. And we do this by strengthening even other alternative family care options for those children whom biological family might not be an option. So thank you so much. I know if any question comes, we'll be able to address this. So asanteni sana watoto, karibuni, today is your day. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Frederick. I'm still waiting for Laura because she's a very important person in this conversation. Laura, are you with us? I can see you, but I think you're muted. I think I'll request someone to call her to tell her we can't see her. We can see her, but she's not, her phone and her audio and camera both off. Thank you so much. So we all know that this is the Children Forum. From last year, we started holding these forums, free event of the Day of the African Child, to give children an opportunity to talk to decision makers, because the thing children they tell us most of the time they are given opportunity to give speeches, but they don't actually interact with decision makers. So this is an opportunity to ask decision makers here the hard questions that you ask myself and you ask each other during your forums. So this is your opportunity. So how we are going to go through this session is we are going to go from aspiration to aspiration to aspiration. So we are going to start with aspiration 1 of Agenda 2040, and then we go to aspiration 2, and then aspiration, if you have any question. So I'm going to start by explaining aspiration 1 of Agenda 2040 and what it means. And if you have any questions, you can ask a question by lifting up your hand. And after you lift up your hand, you are allowed to talk. Okay, but if you are shy, you can take your questions in the Q&A section, and we are going to read the questions here to the panelists who are here and those who are joining us virtually. So the first aspiration is on the charter itself. Okay, as children, do we know about the charter? Okay, and where did we know about it? So what do you want to know more about the charter? So I want to see hands going up, and then we can allow you to talk. Yes, Cornelius and Gabriel.
Hello, I had raised my hand because there was no sound that time, but now we are okay. Sorry for that. I've just lowered it.
Okay. And Brian King, question?
Hey, okay. So yeah, my question was simple. It's about the charter. So what is the charter exactly? What are the contents? And how is it exactly helping the African child? How is it being implemented to address the issues of...
Okay, Brian, we can't hear you, so you have to repeat that question and probably try to be a bit louder.
Okay, so I was asking exactly what are the contents of the charter, how is it being applied to address our issues as the African child, and is it that, what do we call it? Is it that progressive? Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we're going to get 3 questions about that.
How is it addressing?
Sorry, we didn't. How is it what? Brian King?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, pardon, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You have to repeat the second part of your question.
Okay, so the second part of my question was, how is this African child applicable to my life, and how is it being implemented so that it can be able to focus on the issues of me as the African child?
Thank you so much, Brian. Okay, Lina? Lina, go ahead. Lina, we can't hear you. I think you need to leave and join back because I think there's something wrong with your audio. Patrick, you have a question?
Hi, one of the children has a question.
Okay.
Yeah, tuseme ni siku ya Afrika na sisi huwa tunasomea bure hapa Kenya kwa sababu UN ipo. Je, UN yaweza enda hata kwa nchi zingine za Afrika kwa
Okay, Patrick, we can't hear the child very clearly. Are you able to repeat the question?
Let her move closer to the mic.
Okay.
Like hapa Kenya watoto huwa tunasomea bure kwa sababu UN inatusaidia, na kuna nchi zingine ambazo ni za Afrika UN haiwasaidii. Je, UN yaweza fika huko na watoto wa huko wasaidike kiasi?
Asante sana. So tumesema watoto wa hapa Kenya, watoto wa refugee wanasaidika sababu ya UN, lakini kwa nchi zingine za Kiafrika watoto hawasaidiki. Watu wanaweza kufanya waende UN iende huko, lakini sasa tunasema kama African Union inaweza kaenda huko kusaidia watoto wa Afrika wasome. Hiyo ndio swali.
Yes.
Asante.
Sorry to disturb.
Or there's another question?
Yes, I'm sorry. We also have other colleagues from another organization, and they're requesting whether you could also include them in terms of the video, because we are also including children with disability.
Yes, I asked, please send me the first one, they write me a message and then I'll upgrade them because I can't upgrade it, or they lift up their hands and then I can't upgrade.
Oh, they've written on the chat box.
The name, I can't see the name.
Stella Mwende, yes.
She's the sign language.
Yes.
Okay, kuna swali nyingine? Bradley Ochie, question?
Okay.
You have a question?
No, not yet.
Okay, then I think on aspiration 1, we have two, 3 questions. So I don't know, Judge Mapeka, or
yes.
Judge, you try to answer?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Asante sana for that question. Swali lilikuwa, how is the African Charter applicable to my life? That's what I had, and my issues as an African child. The first thing, ama jambo la kwanza ni kwamba, hiyo charter tumeiweka katika sheria yetu ya watoto. Kwa hivyo, haiko tu huko kama charter, iko part and parcel ama ni kati ya sheria yetu ya watoto na sheria ambazo zinahusu watoto katika Kenya hii. Kwa hivyo, when we do our work, kwa mfano, zile haki za mtoto zenye ziko katika charter, ziko pia ndani ya Children's Act. So every day, ukija kwa mfano kotini, ama wakati tuseme DPP ana deal na wewe, ama kuna kesi inahusu mtoto na DPP, ama Department of Children Services, na hata any other department wana deal na mtoto, hiyo sheria ndio inatuelekeza. We are guided by that law because we have taken the charter and brought it home into our Children's Act and other laws that relate to children. So it is not just out there. For example, today we are having this meeting and you are participating. One of the rights of children, ama haki ya mtoto, ni the right to participate in functions like this, the right to ask questions about what is happening about them, you know. So kama leo, this is one of the vile inakuhusu kwa sababu kuna haki ambayo umepata ambayo inakuruhusu kufanya mambo kama ya leo, kuuliza maswali. Haki za the right to education, hizo haki zote ambazo zimewekwa hapo, the right to good health, the right to your parents giving you what parents are supposed to give you, parental responsibility. All those things are within in the charter, and they are within our laws, and they guide us on how we deal with children when we are doing our work. So ni vizuri kuelewa, it's good to understand that it guides us in the things that we do because we have brought it into our law. The other thing about, nafikiri UN ambapo inaweza mahali ambapo kuna shida, siwezi kuzungumzia mambo kuwahusu, lakini vile mimi ninajua ni kwamba pahali ambapo wanaweza kusaidia huwa wanaenda huko na wanasaidia vile inawezekana. So sitaweza kuongea sana kuhusu kazi ya UN, lakini ninajua kwamba hivyo ndio wanafanya kazi. Nitaachia wenzangu wengine pia wajaribu kuwajibu. Asante.
Asante sana. Tuko na mtu wa sheria mkuu hapa akiwa Kenya, Bwana Seth, anaweza ka respond how is it relevant to my life as a child.
Thank you very much, Ryan. I think you understand English. I just want to state that the charter is an agreement. It is an agreement between the nations of Africa. They came together and signed this charter, this agreement, so that the rights of the children and protection of the children in Africa can be taken care of. Just like Honorable Justice Mateka said, hii sheria tumeiweka kwa sheria za Kenya. Hii rights zenye ziko kwa hiyo agreement ama charter zimewekwa kwa sheria ya Kenya. Some of the rights include freedom of expression, freedom of association, maneno ya education, there is the right to education, the right to health, and maneno ya child labor, inagusia maneno ya child labor, watoto wanabaki kufanya kazi zinawaumiza, among others. So hii sheria, it's part of our laws of Kenya as per the Constitution of 2010. So hii charter inalenga ku protect the rights of all children. Kwa hii bili yenye tuko naye saa hii iko parliament, imeweza kuweka hiyo maneno yote hapo ndani yenye ikuwa kwa hii Children's Act yenye iko saa hii, na tumeweza kuongeza sheria zingine zenye zinadina maneno ya watoto ndani ya hiyo bili. Ikipitisha kwa parliament, we are certainly sure that we will be having a very good law that will protect all the children.
Asante sana mwanasheria mkuu. So hiyo swali nyingine ya watoto kusaidiwa na UN. Bwana CEO.
Okay. Thank you for the question. It's true, as you say, refugee children in Kenya are benefiting in terms of education and other benefits. Your concern was, are other children in other parts of Africa benefiting? And our answer to that question is yes, they are benefiting. In fact, our neighboring country, Uganda, for example, refugee children who are there are enjoying also other benefits. And just relating to the first question regarding the charter, we have the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Children. And part of even the work they do is to ensure that children in difficult circumstances, especially like refugee children within Africa, are also catered for and offered services to the best possible. And even as much as possible, mitigations are done in order to ensure that Africa is a stable continent where countries stay in peace. And when it comes to war and disasters, children are also really catered for and taken care of. But related again to the question, it's good that you are of enough and there's taken care of. But with the help of the African Committee of Experts, as we report, we will also bring to the attention the need for strengthening of ensuring that children of refugees within African continent and the African countries are given right protection in terms of all rights, not only education, but as regards all other rights. But the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Children, who even have also have set for us the theme, and always who set for us the theme, and who set for us the agendas regarding the best interest of the children, as far as African continent is concerned. It's our hope that that will be taken care of. And I would still wish to invite more speakers to add up to that. Mr. Fred, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here, Abdunur.
Welcome,
Yes,
please.
thank you.
Welcome, please, and take over if you feel there's anything more to add in terms of answering the question of that child loss. I know you work beyond boundaries, and you could be telling us the experience you have met in those countries. Thank you.
No, I think you answered it really well, and I think that, as you said, UN inafanya kazi katika nchi karibu zote ulimwenguni, na sidhani kama UN pia inabagua mtoto yoyote, na kama kuna hao maeneo ambao watoto hawawezi kuhudumiwa, nafikiri kwamba pia maybe ni jambo muhimu, kwa sababu pia kuna watu ambao wanafanya kazi na UN ambao pia wanafuatilia mjadala huu, na najua wataweza kuchukua hayo. But I think all in all, you have answered the question well, and also the previous presenters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our speaker. So the next step, we are going to ask questions regarding Aspiration 2. So I'm going to explain on what Aspiration 2 is. It says all countries have laws that protect children. They give money for children's rights, and there are enough people working for children. This means that as Kenya, the Kenyan government should have laws that protect children. They give money to these government agencies so that children can be served better. And in those government agencies, there are enough people working for children. So we want to have questions around that, and then our speakers can be able to respond. I can see Joseph's hand up. So any other hands up? I can see Joseph ranking. Anybody else? Children?
Hello, I'm sorry, Ms. Jenny. Could you kindly repeat Aspiration 2?
Sorry, ranking. Can't hear you.
Breaking out.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
I'm Bimolatu from. Hello.
Yes, Joseph, we can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you also me, but the network, I don't know why. Oh, somehow muted. So can you just be clear, please, because we can't hear you somehow.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, you can now continue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alice, your question?
Hello?
Alice, your question? Alice? Joseph, did you have a question?
Miss Jenny, could you kindly repeat aspiration? Could you kindly
Yes, I
repeat
am.
aspiration too?
Okay,
Hello,
I
can you
repeat
hear me?
aspiration two. Okay, let me repeat aspiration two. So
Hello?
aspiration. Yes, Joseph?
So my question is,
So aspiration two,
hello?
let me. Yes, we can hear you, Joseph.
Okay, my question is the World Vision has been so fine to children, mostly in some cases, and mostly in this our area, there are a lot of things that they have done, but the program that is going on now, we can't access it. So like some of the people are having are having the phones that cannot access the Zoom. So what can we do so that we also join? We can all of us. I think that is my question. Can you hear me?
Where are you? We can't understand you.
Okay, as per now, I'm in Pala ADP, and our children have been so fine to us. And the problem that we have is only one. Most of the students have accessed this Zoom, but some of us have not accessed it. So, what can we do so that we can help the others that have not accessed?
Is it a child? Because for now, this particular platform, children cannot be able to talk unless they lift up their hand and they are allowed to speak.
Yes.
So if they lift up their hand, they will be allowed to speak. But because of safeguarding, we cannot allow everybody to speak, and we cannot allow everybody to have their cameras on. So if they want to speak, they just lift up their hand and they'll be allowed to speak.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. So Alice, your question?
Hi.
Hi, Alice.
Catherine Awino, the governor in Bungoma County KCA, and we had a problem of about you reaching us, and now we are okay, and so you can continue.
Thank you, Catherine. Do you have a question?
No, I don't have any question. Maybe my delegates here, my two delegates, maybe you can ask them questions.
No, we want you to ask questions. This time it's not us asking questions. We want you to ask questions. So, and
to ask any,
aspiration 2 of Agenda 2040. So Agenda 2040 are 10 goals that the African Union pushed for government to do before the year 2040 to improve the lives of children in Kenya. and in Africa?
I don't have a question, but I have something that the government should do to the children.
Okay.
And that thing is matter about in Bungoma, the worst calamity. It is about the issue of girls' pregnancies, and last year we had 13,000, but this problem is still continuing, and we need a solution for this issue of pregnancy, because in most schools girls are rejected, that they're bringing a bad picture in school, and so they don't go to school. That's what I want the government to accelerate on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that one is covered in Aspiration 7. And when you go there, I think we have a lot of questions in Aspiration 7. So Brian, do you have a question on Aspiration 2?
Aspiration 2.
It's on all countries have child-friendly laws. They give money for child rights, and they have enough people working for students. So like, for example, I'm talking about, you have children officers, you have volunteer children officers, you have enough nurses in the hospitals who take care of children. Okay, you have community health workers, you have counselors and social workers in school. So if you're able to ask questions around that, that's aspiration. I think we don't have any questions. I think government of Kenya is doing an amazing job. The children are so happy with what you're doing. Brian, do you have a question? Okay, so do you guys think that the laws of children are adequate? Do you think that like for example, the Children's Act of 2001 is enough to protect you guys? Yes, Alice?
Yes, please. Can you pardon?
Okay, I'm saying, do you think that we have enough laws to protect children in Kenya?
Yeah, we have enough laws to protect children in Kenya, but the act is not reaching all the children.
Okay. So, like, not all children know about the Children's Act, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cornelius?
Okay, I'm Kelvin from Kilifi County, place known as Bamba. It's just like a request. I was just requesting that if we can have books or copies concerning the child rights in every school.
Yes, thank you. We have books on child-friendly in all schools. Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you from Kilifi. Brian King. Okay, then please lower your hand.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So, Ms. Jenny, before I start, maybe you could. Okay, yeah. So, I was thinking, does Kenya, let me talk about Kenya. Does Kenya have enough laws? And even if we do have enough laws, maybe the interpretation and the implementation of the laws are not. We tend to see the issues of child labor, child mistreatment, child abuse, sexual, emotional, every form of abuse. It is rampant of the implementation process, whereby we will actually just start a category of children officers, and maybe we do have a children officers, but either they are understaffed or underpaid, which just drag their forces. And even even if we do have them, so what about the child, him or herself? Because we tend to find that there are a lot of children, in fact, let me say over 50% of the children over the age of 10 who don't know about their rights, who only know that you're supposed to go to school because this is the most implemented form of child rights, sometimes even abuse, but maybe we should educate the Kenyan child on his or her rights, improve on the implementation process of the child rights, and also employ more staff, because the staff are there, maybe they're qualified, but maybe they're not employed. So according to me, no, the Kenya doesn't give ways of implementing the constitution rights of the Kenyan child according to the African child, African Charter.
Thank you so much, Brian. From what I'm hearing from you, you are saying, as children, you're concerned that as much as there are laws in Kenya, they are not implemented, okay? And then you're feeling like even if you don't have enough children officers, and those ones who are there, they are underpaid, and they are very, very few. Okay, so the next aspiration is very interesting. This question, I want almost us to lift up our hands, and then you can all put it down. How many of us have a birth certificate? How many of us have a birth certificate? I want to see those ones who have. If you have a birth certificate, please lift up your hand. So to lift up your hand, you have to click the hand icon on the bottom of your screen. How many have a birth certificate? Almost all of us. I can see the hands coming up. How many have a birth certificate? Okay. Okay, let's all lower our hands now. Let's all lower our hands. All of us. Gabriel, please lower your hand. How many don't have a birth certificate? If you don't have a birth certificate, please lift up your hand. Okay, someone else? Okay, so, and then I also want us to discuss how is it easy for us to get a birth certificate? Was it difficult or was it easy? Or how much money did you pay or your parents pay? So I want to see those ones who can be able to answer that question. How easy was it for you, for your parents or yourself, or maybe you have a brother or a sister? How is it easy to get a birth certificate? I'm going to start with Patrick. Patrick and the team.
Yes, hello.
Yes, go on.
Yes, my name is Bagaja Gomot. I'm all the way from Kakumafo, and we have an issue with our birth certificate being made. Here in the camp, not everyone has a birth certificate, and to those who have, they really struggle to get the birth certificate. So I think that's something that we all lack in a way. So
thank you so much. Joseph, so from Kakma, they're saying that they have a difficulty in getting birth certificates. Joseph? Joseph? Okay, Joseph is not ready. Cornelius?
Mi nashukuru sababu World Vision ndio ilikuwa ikinisaidia hadi nikapata birth certificate yangu. Nilikuwa sina birth certificate but walinisaidia sana ndo nikapata birth certificate within a month.
Ulipata ukiwa na miaka ngapi?
Nilikuwa na miaka 13 hapo.
Okay, afu umetoka wapi?
Kilifi County.
Kwani inakuwa rahisi kupata birth certificate?
Sio rahisi, but kwa sababu World Vision ilikuwa pamoja nasi ndio tukapata, sababu kwetu kupata tu hivi tukisema kama familia ilikuwa tu vigumu, but kupitia World Vision na hiyo ndio ilikuwa, yani tuseme hiyo ndio ilitusaidia sana. Mostly ilikuwa kama bahati, sababu wanafunzi sisi watu wenye tulikuwa tushachaguliwa na World Vision ndio tuliweza kupata, but in your population au kwa watu wengi hawana birth certificate, lakini kwa sababu ya World Vision tumepata.
Okay, asante sana Patrick. So nataka mtu mwingine mwenye kwa na the same experience atuambie the experience kama Fadhako anasema kutoka Kilifi kupata basi kama si World Vision hawangepata birth certificate. Nani mnao walipata akiwa 13 years old, lakini according to the African Charter nataka kupata certificate within the first 6 months ukishazaliwa. So nani mwingine iko na experience kama hiyo? Ninaona Alice na David. Haya Alice.
Okay, I'm Sadi kwa hiti. Issue about birth certificate. Ningependa kusema hapa hivi ni Bungoma. Most of the children tuko na challenges about birth certificate because some of the children we are in children's homes and other children are in the border. So maybe they can be from different parents. Other parent, one of the parent comes from Uganda and the other one in Kenya. So kuna difficulties za kupata birth certificates before your process ikuje hadi get inakuwa ni ngumu. Na some children ambao wako in children's home wanapata difficulties because wanakuja wakiwa wadogo, so mtu hujui familia yake then ama hujui origin yake, sasa inakuwa ngumu before kuprocessia na hiyo birth certificate.
And that's what I have.
Nasikia mtu anaongea na wewe huko nyuma, si atuongelesha huyo mwenye anaongea akisema ujui nyumbani. Si tuongelesha hata wewe kusikia sauti yako.
Okay.
Alice, nani anaongea?
It was my young sister.
Or let your younger sister speak to us also.
Okay, he can say something. She can say.
Share introduce ongea akianataka. Hello. She's my sister. She's my sister Charlene, and she's here. She can introduce herself. Charlene, hi. Okay, I'm Charlene.
I'm Charlene Shikoko.
I come from Bungoma.
And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much, Charlene. Thank you so much. It was really good to hear your voice. Don't be shy. So, David, what is your experience on birth certificate?
Hello. Kwa majina naitwa Pendo Sura. Nilipata natoka Changamwe. Nilipata birth certificate kupitia World Vision.
Kamini yake sababu tunapata feedback moja azime kompyuta na simu ndio tuweze kusikia.
Kwa majina naitwa Pendo Sura. Natoka Changamwe. Nilipata birth certificate kupitia World Vision na kwa sababu mzazi wangu ilikuwa hana pesa ya kwenda kunichukulia. Kwa hivyo World Vision ikanisaidia.
Ulipata ukiwa na miaka
ngapi?
Pendo.
Miaka pesa. Age. Ulipata uko na miaka 6.
Ulipata kila miaka 6. Haya, asante sana. Iko na Philemon.
Yes. Hello.
What is your experience on birth certificates?
In fact, about this birth certificate, the Kenyan government needs to have some procedures to shorten, because it is really taking a lot of time. Because you can just find a student or a people in standard 8 don't having his he is not able to do his KCP because of lack of birth certificate, whereby he cannot register. So kindly, as the government of Kenya, kindly try to do something concerning that birth certificates. Another thing is about the costly. It is so costly to get a birth certificate, in fact, because here in Narok County, it really takes a lot of time, and also it's very costly, because you can find it's until you pay something like 1,500 for you to get a birth certificate. Thank you so much.
Where do you pay?
In the registrar's office in the Narok County.
You said you pay how much? 1,500 shillings?
Yes, because it is having a lot of a long procedure. So you start paying in the local area, and then as the time that the birth certificate is now out, the amount of money that you have paid is so costly, in fact.
Thank you so much. You said you're from Narok County.
Yeah, Narok County, Laramataka ADP.
Okay, thank you so much. Chebet?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philemon from Yellamata. Chebet?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Faith from Kericho County. Hello.
Yes, go on, Chebet.
I'm suggesting that getting a birth certificate should be easy. It should not take a lot of time, and we should not pay anything to get that birth certificate.
Okay. Thank you. Was it easy for you to get a birth certificate?
It takes some time. Like mine took about a month. Yeah, and it was urgent for me. I wanted to use it. Yeah.
How old were you when you got it?
I was in class 7 going to class 8. I was 14
You needed it for standard 8 for your exam.
Yeah, it almost delayed.
Okay. So I want Mary. Mary said she doesn't have a birth certificate. Mary.
Yes.
You said you don't have a birth certificate.
Yes.
Mary, you said you don't have a birth certificate. So we want to know, why don't you have a birth certificate?
Kwa sababu mamangu ana pesa.
Oh, okay, kwa nini tunaongea na Kiswahili? Oh, so mama yako hana pesa. Umetoka wapi Mary?
Changamwe Mombasa.
Changamwe Mombasa. Wanakulipisha pesa ngapi kupata birth certificate?
1,000.
1,000. Unalipa wapi? Wanataka unalipa wapi?
Nilitoka shuleni kuuliziwa.
Unalipa kwa chief?
Yeah.
Okay, asante sana Mary. David, unataka kuongea about birth certificate? David, Isaka? David Izaka?
Yes. Mimi nilikuwa nasema kuchukua birth certificate kwa wengine ni ngumu juu ya hizo pesa. Nilikuwa na suggest kwamba hiyo pesa at least it is standardized. Yeah.
Pesa alitoa pesa ngapi?
1,000.
So walipishe 1,000.
As in wapunguze at least 500.
Or reduce to 500.
Pardon?
What reduce to 500? Mistake, what reduce to 500?
Yeah.
Okay, sawa. Sasa nitaambia bwana Seth na bwana CEO respond to the birth certificate.
Okay. Thank you very much, our children. We're happy, actually, very happy to hear from you. To begin with, first, I would wish to start with experiences I've had. I know the Department of Civil Registration for the last now few years have been trying to improve on that area. And I am a witness to situations where we have mobile registration. I know even there was some allegation, especially for birth registration. At the time of birth, that has been done even to the chiefs. And the issue of traveling to the registrar is now actually solved, and the registration, especially at the time of birth, can be done with the chiefs. I'm also aware there was a campaign to ensure that there is a one-day registration initiative that is done. However, we are concerned because we hear from our children as far as Kakuma, Bungoma, Kilifi, and several counties, Kericho, Narok, and even Mombasa, that there was still some problems and some bottlenecks to effective registration. We're particularly concerned, especially for those children in the border areas, like Kakuma. Our child in Bungoma had actually been particular and said there was a concern for parents, maybe who are dual parents, dual identity parents, a parent coming from Uganda and a parent coming from Kenya. We still urge, once the child is in the soils of Kenya, irrespective of where those parents are coming from, that a confirmation is done that the child is born and registered within Kenya. We have also taken your concerns, and we wish to urge and request the Department of Children Civil Registration and other related agencies like to ensure that our children get registered without any difficulties, without any hurdles. We have also heard from the children that charges relating to the birth certificates are a bit exorbitant. As we know, and by legal requirements, those charges which we have had from the children of 1,500, 1,500, those actually are illegal charges if they exist, and we insist and we advise that should also stop. We know children are supposed to be paying at that time only 50 shillings for late registration. It's supposed and it is done, we have seen. We also wish to thank for those agencies and for those actors, especially our civil society organizations, like World Vision, who have been mentioned to be facilitating the registration of birth of some children, especially those children in their program, to ensure that there is a timely acquisition of birth certificates for the children. However, I wish to confirm to our children and assure you that we have heard your concerns, and in collaboration and in contact with the right officers concerned, we will do our best to ensure that improvements are realized. And on your side also, please make sure to sensitize your colleagues and your families and your communities that birth registration is very important, and it is part of our Agenda 2040 that issues of birth and other vital documents and other vital necessary registrations are a right of the child and should be done. Thank you very much, and I wish to welcome our director from the National Council of Children's Service, Director Seth, and also Senior Deputy Counsel from the Attorney General's Office.
Thank you, Director. As Director said, my name is Seth Masese. To correct the designation, I'm a Deputy Chief State Counsel at the Office of the Attorney General, as well, and a Director at the NCCS. The Director, the CEO has said much about registration. I don't want to repeat myself on those issues. But I just want to mention what the law says. Vile sheria inasema, tukianzia katiba katika kipengele cha 12(1)(b) inasema kwamba kila citizen wa Kenya is entitled to a Kenyan passport and any document of registration. Moja yao ni kwamba ni birth certificate apart from the Kenyan passport. So ni right yako ya kuwa registered na upate birth certificate according to our Constitution 2010. Tukiendelea kwa katiba pia katika kipengele cha 14(4) inasema kwamba mtoto yeyote mwenye anapatikana Kenya ama anaonekana kuwa miaka 8, huyo anachukuliwa kama mtoto wa Kenya mwenye amezaliwa katika nchi ya Kenya. Tukiendelea kwa hii kitu yenye hii document tulikuwa tunaongea juu ya charter, katika kipengele cha 6 inasema kwamba kila mtoto must be registered immediately after birth. So ni shughuli ya serikali ku make sure watoto wote wenye wamepatikana Kenya ama wenye wamezaliwa Kenya wawe registered na wapewe hicho cheti cha birth certificate, because it's their right. Now, we've heard your concerns. What we are going to do as the National Council for Children's Services, we are going to liaise with the Births and Registration Department and see how we can address your concerns about delaying of getting those birth certificates, and even negotiate for a more reasonable fee, so that all our children can be able to get their birth certificates, and even to enable them register for the exams, and even to enable them get the Kenyan passports and all other documents that they need for the advancement of their life. Lastly, there is also kuna kitu inaitwa UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, penye hii chata ya Afrika imetolewa, hizo vipengele zimetolewa kwa hiyo convention, na pia hiyo convention pia inasema watoto wote wakuwe registered. Hiyo convention ni part of sheria ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo hiyo matakwa yenu yote tumeichukulia, tutaongea na hao wenye wanafanya maneno ya registration, not only Nairobi headquarters but your respective counties penye mko. Just be rest assured that we are going to take care of your concerns. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. Judge. Endelea Judge.
Kwa yale mambo ambayo mwenzangu kutoka ofisi ya AG amesema kwamba hiyo department iweze kurahisisha kulegeza hiyo sheria ili watoto wa Kenya waweze kupata certificate bila kusumbuka, bila mzazi kupata shida yoyote, maana ni jambo la muhimu sana kwa mtoto wa Kenya, maana anatambulika kuwa mtoto wa Kenya wakati ameingia kwa hiyo register. Asante sana.
Asante sana Judge. Kabla tuendelea, nasikia tuna madirekta kadhaa kutoka NCCS. Nitawaomba waongee. Nitaanza na Rea Olik. Naomba utuongeleshe dakika moja, utuambie unafanya kazi wapi, na venye nauambie watoto maneno mawili matatu. Naomba uwashe kamera na audio. Madam Nerea.
Hello, Director Nerea. Children, now we will be hearing also from our directors from respective ministries. I wish to call on Director Nerea, Director Basic Education. and she will tell us more regarding what is in place for us and the many good things that the Ministry of Education is doing for us. Director Nerea, welcome. Director Nerea, are you muted? Hello? Director, we're waiting for your, I think you are muted. Is she muted? Yes. Can you unmute yourself?
And camera also.
Unmute yourself, please, Director. We're giving you 2-3 minutes. Our children are on standby waiting to hear from you, Director Karibu. Sasa.
Madam Director, Nerea, please unmute yourself and switch on your camera. Madam Director.
Madam. Okay, please get back and mute yourself and join. Welcome.
Yes, we can hear you, but now you have to switch on your camera. Okay, you're very low. I don't know, you need to move near the audio. We can't hear you, Madam Nerea.
We can't hear you, Madam Nerea. We can't hear you,
Madam. We can't hear you also. You do something. Let's call on Director Laura as you set your gadgets. Director Laura, are you with us, Director?
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Director. We would request that you put on the camera also. And welcome, Director. Director Laura. Yes.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Laura Bonareri. I work at the Ministry of Health. I head neonatal and child health services, where we mainly do policy and guidelines development and dissemination to the counties, supporting counties in implementing pediatric and neonatal health services in hospitals, health centers, and dispensaries. What we do for the children of Kenya is that we ensure that the staff that see them in the facilities are well trained, they have the equipment that they need to be able to manage any health condition that that child has. They also have the need to refer a child with a complicated case for more advanced care. We work with the community level, where we capacity build community health volunteers so that they are able to visit households. And in the households, we've trained them how to review children, especially the children who are aged less than 5 years, for what we call danger signs and common illnesses in children. In the community, if they find a child is sick, they have a package where they educate the household on how to care for that child. The child is not seriously sick, but if the child shows signs and symptoms of having a danger sign or a more complicated illness that managed at the household level, then the community health volunteers ensures that this child is referred to the hospital. At the national level, we advocate for increased funding to be able to offer child-friendly services, meaning that when you go to a facility, instead of children queuing in the same line with adults, they have their own space where the staff that we've trained in pediatrics are able to see them in a comfortable place and also ensure that the equipment in the child-friendly spaces is equipment that's specific to children. We also work with what we call health promotion. And what health promotion does, it ensures that when we are sending out information as a ministry, the voice of the child is heard and the needs of the child is heard. And when I say child, I mean anyone who's aged less than 18 years. Currently in Kenya, where we stand, we are making very good progress when we look at the health indicators that pertain to children. This is pneumonia, diarrhea, and also health among the very small babies, covering vaccination and such programs. When we look at our indicators and compare them with other countries across the region, we find Kenya has made a lot of progress. But that doesn't mean we are going to rest and congratulate ourselves. We still know that health for every child, wherever they are, whether it's a child in a vulnerable situation, in a remote area, or whether it's a child in a well-to-do area, the upmarket areas, that child has a right to health. And we strive to ensure that each child gets the health that they need. Thank you very much, and over to you.
And good quality healthcare should be able to have access to health and to be able to get like medicine, water, clean environment for them to be able to survive. So children, Joanne, I want you to ask if you have any concern about this particular aspiration. I want to see hands going up. Brian King, I've seen your hand. Philemon, I've seen your hand. Cornelius, I've seen your hand. So I'm going to start with someone who has not spoken yet. Bradley? Bradley, do you want to speak?
Okay, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I would like to speak about, like, these days, children are not like given the waters and everything. Some parents are like, they don't care about their children anymore. Like some places, even this free water that NMS has given to people, some people just take the water and go and sell it somewhere. I like that issue to be addressed, please.
Thank you so much. You are from Nairobi County? Bradley, you are from which sub-county?
On the issue of water, we do have a department that deals with water and sanitation health, and also environmental health. So what usually happens is that the water, in fact, is meant to be provided so that we protect the young ones from these waterborne diseases, the diarrhea, the vomiting, the worms, and everything that is spread via unsafe water. If there are truly cases out there where you find that the caregivers, the parents, are taking the water and selling it and not ensuring that their homes have adequate water for their use, this is something that can be taken up by the local children's office. But also where we sit at health, what we do is that we monitor the number of diarrheal cases in an area. And if there's an alarming increase in diarrheal cases, we usually link up with the community, the area administration, to try and address the situation. So if there's an area where that water has been provided by NMS and caregivers are selling it for their own gains, I think this is something that should be reported, handled at administrative level. But what we can do as health is to come in and provide education so that people can know the importance of why this water was provided to that particular area. So thank you, Brian, for bringing this up. I think it's something that we can continue monitoring and follow up in this respective area where it's happening.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Laura, can we get like 3 questions and then you can answer all of them together? Okay, Philemon, your question? Question?
No.
Okay, Susan Kibe, you have a question?
I have an issue about medical care. Like here in Bungoma, we have an issue of, okay, tuko na issue ya watoto ambao wako under 5 years ambao wanatritiwa. Inasemekana kuna matibabu kwao ya bure, but ukienda hospitali pia mtoto atapimwa, angaliwe shida zake, but kuna dawa zenye inabidi apewe. Na mzazi azipata hizo dawa bure, lazima atatoa kiwango fulani ya pesa ndio apate na hizo dawa, na ni mtoto ambaye imesemekana atatibiwa bure. So hadi pia sisi huku juu watu wenye tuko under 18 pia sisi tungepata tukue na matibabu ya bure. Ni hayo tu.
Hi. I wanted to ask, how can someone join the student council? Thank you.
On Aspiration 10. And then any other question?
I'm good.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. Les Salon.
I have a question. Hello, everyone. Bless the Lord. My question is, it concerns health and sanitation. So, I want to speak about the
Salon. We can't hear you. Are you able to go somewhere with this network? Odhiambo, hebu unaweza kuongea namba?
affected. Even just you just come from a.
Okay,
Yes, hello.
Oh, yes, go on, Odhiambo.
Yes, my name is Hilary Odhiambo. I'm working for World Vision. And I'm here with children who want to raise an issue about water in our area program. So kindly allow them to talk.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Khadija, and we have an issue in Garbatula sub-county, Duse. The water there is not clean, and children are taking dirty water, which may cause diarrhea, and we want the government to look at that.
Thank you so much from Gabatura. Trevor?
Hello.
Sema Trevor.
Ongea. Naitwa Esther kutoka Mombasa.
Ati NHIF?
Sasa watoto wote sisa, kwa sababu wengine hawezi kupata maji ya karibu, kwa sababu pesa ni shida kwao, na pia maji hayapatikani bure siku zote kwa hii kaunti yetu. Naitwa Esther kutoka Mombasa County. Ongea wewe. Naitwa Esther kutoka Mombasa County. Watoto wote sio sawa, kwa sababu wengine hawezi kupata maji ya karibu, na pia kupata maji ni shida kwao. Maji ya bure wanga yanaletwa, lakini si siku zote. Kwa hivyo afya yao haiwezi kuwa bora bila maji.
Asante Trevor. Naomba David muongee. David Izaka.
Hi.
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 Go ahead.
Naitwa Feni.
Yes, sema Feni.
Toka Changamwe. Nilikuwa nasema maji huku Changamwe ni shida, na ukipata maji ni penye maji inatoka, kuna venye sewage huwa imepasuka. Sasa hayo maji yanachanganyikana na sewage. Ukipata maji unapata maji ni machafu, na hiyo yaweza dhuru afya yetu kama sisi watoto. Asante.
Asante sana Feni. Brian King.
Yeah, so I would like to talk on the issue of water and healthcare. Let me start with healthcare first. So, I talked about pediatric attention of children attention. Generally in hospitals, I've been in Malmanis hospitals. I can say that the attention there is particularly, as state are living with the services of kids are very low. You can find a pediatric doctor has left a child in the patient room for over an hour or maybe even 2 hours with the excuse of lunch or break or something like that, which is not fair at all, considering child needs immediate attention. Now on the issue of water, I'm here in Umoja. On the issue of water, how free is it really? Considering those drivers might ask for some cash in return of money, in return of the water. You see, in exchange. So basically, it's not free at all.
Okay,
Then
King,
immediate.
we've lost. We can't hear you.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better.
Hello?
Go on.
Hello, can you hear me now? NMA provides water is, according to me, it's not. Yeah, because as someone said, I think it's in Bungoma, they sell the water. And even when it comes to water, okay, I'm in water now, but once I was in my Afghanistan in Dhaka, and I can tell you the water there is pretty dirty. I mean, the water is literally brown.
Brian, we can't hear you.
As they tell you, it's clean water. It's provided by the water company there, but it's literally brown. I mean, they just pump it directly from a certain seasonal river in the countryside. It's not clean water. This is the water they expect children to drink, adults to drink, even elderly people to drink. I mean, so maybe if we can have someone look at those issues. I mean, the water is literally brown up there. I mean, we had to pipe our own water from, the people they actually have to tap their own water, like they have to trap rainwater so that they can actually get something to drink. And that the same issue of NMS provided water, they actually sell the water at. Do you imagine a jerrycan of water at that shilling, and it's supposed to be NMS water, free water? And the only reason they're actually buying that water is because the water company there is not providing clean water at all. So I think you can see the cycle revolving around them. It's just trapping people. I mean, considering the time of Corona, they need the water, they don't have the money, and then water company, that's water. And the most water is too expensive. I'm sure you can see this. And let me tell you something: without clean water, you can never access quality healthcare. I mean, if you can't access water in your home, how are you supposed to drink even the tablets given to you? On the issue of healthcare, someone said that you have to actually buy the medicine. I mean, I think what the government meant by free healthcare services is free consultation, because that is what happens. You might be consulted for free, and the doctor gives you a prescription of 10,000 shillings. I mean, really, is that really free? Because you
Thank you so much, Brian. Okay, the next, Patrick.
I'm the same as near private hospitals have been just the same as far as it's what I've observed. Yeah, maybe also when it comes to healthcare services, PHV, I've seen them around. That maybe I can give the government a thumbs up, because the vaccination program I've seen it doing well. Yeah, you've seen some kids getting vaccinated. Those kids, in Umoja, this is my area. This is where I'm talking about. Generally, that's it. That's according to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. So, Patrick, you had asked your question.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Hello? Yeah,
Go ahead.
You can.
Hello? Hey. My issue is on medical services, and this is directly in the camp. Upper, there's an issue. When I was in class 3, I learned that an ambulance carries sick people, but here in the camp, it's twisted round. Upper, it is mostly specifically for pregnant people, and also disabled people. Maybe at night something might have happened, maybe a kagonjeka, or maybe something serious had happened. And when they call the ambulance, what they do, what they tell you is the person pregnant? And if the person is not pregnant or expectant, what they tell you is maybe we're busy, or there's something, or maybe we're somewhere far. They're just trying to delay because maybe to them it's not a serious case. So to me, I think that they should put more effort when it comes to transport of patients, because any illness is serious, not only for expectant mothers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Joseph?
Hi.
Hi. Go on. Oh, is it Odhiambo? Odhiambo, go on. Odhiambo?
Odhiambo, go on.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Go on.
Go on.
Okay, Cornelius. Cornelius? I think we are done with that question. I think what's her name? The Daktari, Laura, are you able to respond now? I know there are quite a number. To respond.
Daktari, you can go. You can go on and respond.
Hello.
Yes, go on, Daktari.
So in response to those questions, first I'll start with the issue of water and try to address it. When it comes to water provision, that is a function of the county governments. And as health, we work closely together to ensure that our issues are articulated. And our issue is if you don't provide clean water, the surroundings and the homes where the population lives will affect them, and we are going to see more and more people getting sick. And the most vulnerable in any community are the children. So when it comes to issues of water provision, that's a county government level, but we work together. What we can do as health is that if you're provided with water and you are not sure of the source of that water, we usually encourage people to buy the something like water guard, something to cleanse that water. Or if you can't buy such things to cleanse the water, maybe you boil the water before you use it for consumption. So the issue of water, we work closely with county governments. It's not health 100%. It's usually a county government function. And we just work together with the county governments to ensure that they understand the importance of having water delivered to everyone. When it comes to health service delivery in the facilities, I did note that there was a concern that it's only the under 5 who get free services and the rest of the children do not get these free services. What I can say is that we are currently trying to come up with a universal health coverage. What universal health coverage means is that finally service will be provided to you at no cost, but also this will be under a national health insurance scheme. So your parents, your caregivers, the people who are responsible for you will be shown how to enter this national health insurance scheme so that the payments that they make can go towards providing health services at whatever level of facility you visit without a cost to them eventually when they are accessing that service. So in some counties, those plans have been scaled up. I can mention one county, a county like Kakamega County. If you go to most of their dispensaries and their health centers, you can usually access health services for free at exactly no cost to the people there. So that's something that you're going to see happening in more and more counties as universal health coverage takes root. I think there was a question about people taking long breaks and there's a queue in the hospital. What I'd want to maybe share is that that should not be the case. When you go to hospital, you should be attended immediately. And most hospitals have a patient service charter. So in that service charter, they state how many minutes you're supposed to wait before you access a service. And they have systems in place where you can have complaints and complain about maybe if you are treated badly or if you waited too long or if you felt that the service you received was not adequate for the complaint that you took. And most facilities have committees who discuss complaints as expressed by patients and they try to rectify that. So I'm urging all to use those channels. If there is a complaint box or if you are medical superintendent, I think you can have access to his office and explain to him the challenges you are facing when you go to have services delivered to you in facilities. Thank you.
No, I think, sorry, I had put my hand up for something else, but I think Daktari has dealt with it absolutely properly. I'm happy. Yeah.
So we're going to jump into aspiration 8. So the aspiration 8 says children should benefit from a child-sensitive justice system. This means that if you are a child below the age of 12, you should not be arrested by the police or taken to prison or a rehabilitation center. That means you need to have a lawyer to represent you if you have an issue. You have a counselor to talk to you if you have an issue. If you're a victim or you are testifying, you should do it. It should be protected. So you should not be able to face the person you are doing the testimony against, or the person you are facing your victim, the person who violated you. So I want to hear your question or concern around access to child-friendly justice. How do we get child-friendly justice? These hands up want to ask questions. If you're not asking a question, please lower your hand so that I can be able to know who is talking. I will assume the 4 want to talk. I'll start with Susan Kibe. Susan? Or the people who are behind Susan Kibe's computer? Okay, Philomen? Okay, let me ask you questions then. Do you think Kenya, the police, the judges, the children officer are very good to children when they have gone against the law? I've seen a hand go up.
No.
Ongea. Mtu ameinua mkono. Ama mtu akienda kotini, unafikiria serikali inafanyaga kitu kuprotect. Judge, nisaidie. Kiswahili yangu imeisha.
Kama ukija kotini ama mtoto akipatikana na shida ambayo inahusisha mahakama ama polisi ama ofisi ya ODPP ama kwa hiyo line yote, kama mnapata huduma ambayo inawafurahisha ama unapata kwamba hao watu ambao wanakushughulikia wanakusikiza, hayo ndio mambo ambayo tungependa kujua kutoka kwenu. If you find that people in the justice system, that is the magistrates, the judges, the police, the prosecutors, the children officers, the probation officers, if you have ever been in a remand home, the officer who runs the remand home, whether all these people, including even the chief, because sometimes it's the chief who will arrest somebody who has committed a crime in the community. Do you think that, or what do you think about us? Do you think we are doing a good job? Simply put, are we responding to you as children, or are we just doing our own things? That is, I would like to hear from you.
Julius, unaweza kaongea. Okay, Alice?
What I think that police huwa hawafanyi poa. Sometimes unaweza kuwa kama we ni mtoto, umecommit a crime, become in conflict with the law, but the way the police will handle you kama wamekupata si ile a friendly way utapitia, but kama umepelekwa na mtu fulani waseme you have committed that crime, hapo sasa ndio yani kuna place zenye hautaulizwa maswali polepole kama mtoto, utaulizwa wakiwa serious, inafanya unaogopa, yani una tense, unashindwa cha kufanya mpaka unajipata uwezi sema kitu chochote, unanyamaza tu. That's what I have.
Okay, mimi ningependa kuongeza ambayo Katina amesema, cause kwa kitu kama hiyo tuseme umeshikwa na makosa kama hiyo maybe, ama kuna mtu fulani ameweza kukudhulumu wewe kama mtoto na umepelekwa kotini ili kutoa ushahidi ama kusema kitu yoyote. Katika hizi koti zetu za Kenya, mimi ningependa kusema hivi, mtoto kama umekuja kutoa ushahidi, maybe ungekuwa kunawekwa place tofauti na ule mtu ambaye amekudhulumu ama amekukosea, ili msiweze kuonana, ukue uwazi useme kitu ambayo imeweza kutendeka. Lakini mkiwekwa TV pamoja, ile yenye mnaonana macho kwa macho, maybe atakuwa alikuogopesha ama kuna kitu amekutishia atakufanyia, sasa huwezi kuwa uwazi. Sasa mimi nilikuwa naonelea kama wangekuwa na utofautiano kidogo, ili watu wasionane, ndio mtoto akue na uwazi wake. Sawa.
Asante.
Kuna mtu
Jennifer, please.
Ongea.
Jennifer, please.
If you go to police, they say that they need kitu kidogo. Whatever, if you don't have even one or can, and if you go to court, something or
I can't hear Patrick. Patrick, please repeat your question or your comment. I can't hear you very well.
the question is this: even if you go to police, yes, they tell you that kitu kidogo. However, that if you don't, how will you do?
Patrick, hebu rudia swali, nafikiri internet iko na shida kwenye huko. Rudia tu, usichoke ndio nikusikie vizuri.
The question is this: if you go to report a case in police, they tell you that need kitu kidogo. However, if you don't have kitu kidogo, what will you do?
Oh, kitu kidogo.
Yes.
Asante sana Patrick. Cornelius? Si tukusikii Cornelius?
Hello.
Sema Cornelius.
Elisha
Ebo, songea kwa nini kwa microphone.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Elisha Kazungu from Kilifi, Bamba ADP. Concerning that issue, huku kwetu tunaona kwamba ukitaka upate msaada kutoka kwao askari, wengi wao labda uende pale ukajaribu kupiana hongo, au ni lazima ujaribu kutumia njia hizo za hongo ndiposa ukaweze kupata huo msaada. Lakini kama hutapiana hongo, hutaweza kusaidika na utaanza kuteseka kwa muda mrefu sana.
Asante sana Cornelius. Alice?
I wanted to add something. It may be a case of defilement, and then maybe my parent and the person who has done that to me, it's like that person is bribing my mother because he wants to give some amount of money so that that case cannot be taken to the police. But when it reached at a place that my parent want to take it to a police, that person will even not pay my mother, will pay that police, and then I'm not helped. And then after that, the community will hate me. It take me as a big girl, and they don't care. So it leads to that my parents saying that you will not go back to school. You will find someone to marry and continue with life. And I want the government to intervene with that, especially in villages and in remote areas. The girls are being mistreated, and that's paining my heart. And I really want the government to intervene with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alice. That is very moving. So, Philemon. Okay, Philemon, are you there? Okay, Patrick?
Ya kitu kama sisi watoto ambacho kinatuzuia kwenda polisi, tuseme ni kabila nyingi ambazo ziko hapa Kenya sasa hivi.
Can you hear us? Hello?
Go ahead. Sorry, it's my internet that has gone off.
Ya sisi kama watoto, kitu ambacho kinatufanya tuogope polisi, kwa sababu hapa Kenya tuko kabila nyingi, kuna Burundi, kuna Sudanese na wengineo. Sasa mtoto wa Burundi akikumbana na mtoto wa Turkana, alafu apelekwe polisi, kupelekwa polisi sasa wakifika huko, juu hao mapolisi wenyewe watakuwa ni Waturkana, hawatakuhudumia wewe kama refugee. Watakusikiliza, baadaye wanawaambia muende nyumbani without getting a solution of that problem. That's what us, we as children here go for.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Susan Kibe.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
My comment is, we actually feel pleased because we children who has disability, when you go to police station, they will just tell you that you have disability. They will not support you. They just tell you go on away because you are.
And lastly, one more.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Have one more person. This is the last person.
Okay. My question is, sometimes you may fight with someone, and you may fight with someone who is your neighbor, or your neighbor may abuse you. And if you try to go and report the case to the police, they will say, do you have something little like money? Could you affect us a lot?
Thank you so much. Mwema? Mwema, yes? Mwema, please speak. Okay. Susan Kibe?
Semanga. Gani?
Simulize basi.
Uliza.
Ongea na Kiswahili.
Ongea na Kiswahili.
Susan, nakusikiza, ongea tu nakusikiza, Susan. Ongea tu. Usiogope.
Hakuna mtu akona swali hapo, na umesahau aje na ulikuwa umesema kuna swali.
Asante. Okay, I think tumemalizana. this question. So we start with Gertrude. Please, Gertrude, I hope you are writing down those questions. And then please unmute yourself.
Yes, I've taken note of the comments, and I'd like to begin with the question about children being protected when they go to testify. And now, what usually happens is once a child has gone to court, there should be a witness box in the court, so that either the suspect or the accused person is hidden away from the view of the child, and the child is able to testify, and the magistrate is also able to hear the child. So the child has enough confidence to be able to testify. The law allows us to protect children who come to the court as victims or witnesses from being in contact with the accused person. So in case you have a case in court, we advise that you liaise with the prosecutor or the police officer or the children's officer in good time to enable make preparations if there is no witness box existing. But the law allows you to testify without having to face your accuser. Tunaelewa kwamba watu wanaweza kuwa wanatishia watoto, ama hata kama uko kotini anakuangalia, anakushtua, ama anakufanyia vitu ambazo zinafanya ushtuke. Kwa hivyo ndio ni vizuri kuongea na kiongozi wa mashtaka, ama pia unaongea na wakili, ama pia unaruhusiwa kujieleza kwa koti kwamba unaogopa huyu mtu, koti iweze kuangalia jinsi ambavyo inaweza kuprotect ukienda kutoa ushahidi kotini. Now regarding the other question about defilement, number one, ningependa watoto wote wajue, vijana na wasichana, kwamba kesi ya defilement si kesi ambayo mzazi anapaswa kusikizana na mtu ambaye amekudhulumu kimapenzi. Sheria haikubali watu kusikizana kwa hizi kesi nje ya koti. We are not allowed to have an out of court settlement regarding defilement cases. And the reason for this is because, as the lady has rightly explained, this is a crime committed against the child. It is not a crime that has been committed against the parent. And the pain the girl expressed herself with is pain I can also resonate with, because the child is never heard, the child never gets justice, the child is never assisted in any way, they're not given psychosocial support, they're even sometimes medical help. So it is wrong and illegal for parents to either be bribed or to be given money to withdraw defilement cases out of court. It is wrong for police officers to be given money so that these cases do not proceed. It is every child's right, especially a victim of sexual violence, for that case to proceed in court. Tumeelewana? Ningependa watoto kabisa waelewe, msikubali mzazi amesema wamesikizana. Ni haki yako kama mtoto ambaye amedhulumiwa kimapenzi kuenda station uandikishe statement, and you have your day in court. Enda utoe ushahidi kwamba huyu mtu amekudhulumu kimapenzi. So yes, I really empathize with the situation on the ground, but I'm also encouraging children not to shy away. Kama kesi imeenda police station na polisi amekubali kuchukua pesa, ama kuna jinsi kesi imeenda na wewe kama victim ama mtu ambaye amedhulumiwa hauelewi, you are allowed to reach out even to our office, the DPP's office. Unaweza hata tuandikia barua, utupigie simu, tueleze kwamba mimi nilidhulumiwa na mzazi hataki kupeleka kesi kotini, ama polisi anatuitisha pesa, mshtakiwa hapeleki kotini. Ni haki yako. Hii si kesi ambayo tunapaswa kusikilizana. However, pia kama vijana, kuna vijana wavulana ambao pia wanadhulumiwa kimapenzi, na wakienda kuripoti wanaambiwa wao ndo walidhulumu mtu, wanawekelewa. Pia vijana ningependa wajue ni haki yao kwenda kuripoti kwamba kuna huyu mama ama kuna huyu msichana amenidhulumu kimapenzi. Na sana sana tunaona vijana wanaume hawataki kujitokeza kusema, wanaogopa kuchekelewa ama wanaogopa kuonekana kama si wanaume. Lakini ukidhulumiwa ni haki yako, tafadhali kujeni. Tunapeleka watu kotini, we are prosecuting them, na hata watu wanafungwa kwa kudhulumu watoto kimapenzi. I don't know if there's anything I have left out regarding the questions. I note that the others were comments.
Asante sana Gertrude. Justice Matheka.
Okay, asante sana Gertrude. Gertrude, kuna hiyo namba ya ODPP ambayo ni hotline yenu ambayo haina malipo, si ipo?
Yes, I'll be able to share the hotline on the chat.
Itakuwa vizuri hata ungeisema kwa sauti watoto waweze kuisikia, kwa sababu nafikiri ni jambo la muhimu kwao kuwa na hiyo information. So kama ungeisema tu, kama uko nayo, kabla sijatoa comment zangu, naomba tu useme hiyo namba, uambie hii namba unaweza ukapiga hata kama hauna pesa kwa simu, unaweza kuomba simu ya mtu, unaweza kupiga hii namba na si lazima uwe na pesa upige report.
Okay. You'll kindly indulge me, sijajua kwa akili as I get it from my phone.
Alafu waambie, nashukuru sana. So watoto, sisi tumefurahi sana kwa sababu mmetuelezea machache kuhusu vile ambavyo tunawafanyia kazi katika hii tunaita criminal ama justice system. Kwa sababu mimi huwa nasema na hata wenzangu wanajua kwamba haki ya mtoto ni jukumu la kila mmoja wetu. Sio jukumu tu la polisi ama judiciary ama ODPP. Sisi wote pamoja tuna jukumu la kuwapatia haki ikiwa mtajipata katika njia ya kugongana na sheria ama being a child in conflict with the law. Na pia si lazima pia uwe a child in conflict with the law ndio ujipate either mahakamani ama katika polisi. Unaweza kuwa umepotea, unaweza kuwa wewe ndio umedhulumiwa, unaweza kuwa umeona kitu kimefanyika unaenda kuripoti. Haya yote yanakuhusisha katika criminal justice system ama hii system ya kutafuta haki. Ningependa tu kuelezea machache kuhusu pengine yale ambayo yamefanyika na yale mnafaa kuelewa kidogo tu. La kwanza, nashukuru kuna mtoto aliuliza tunaweza tukapata namna gani information kuhusu mambo ya haki zetu. Kama kunaweza kuwa na vitabu ama mambo kama hayo, small booklets za kutuelezea yale ambayo tunaweza tukafanya. Mimi nadhani hilo ni changamoto wakati tunasherekea hii Day of the African Child na hiyo aspiration number 8 kwamba sisi wote tuwe na jukumu, ODPP, judiciary, wale wengine wote, kuona vile tutaweza kutoa either booklets ama pamphlets za kuelezea watoto, ziwe katika shule na lugha ambayo Kiswahili na Kiingereza ama hata lugha ambazo wanaelewa huko, kuwaelezea haki zao, kuwaelezea procedure za kupiga ripoti, kuwaelezea yale ambayo tunazungumza hapa. Kwa sababu mtoto ambaye ana habari, mtoto ambaye anaelewa haki zake, mtoto ambaye ana hiyo habari ni mtoto ambaye ana uwezo. Na huo uwezo ni kama wale wengine nimesikia wakiongea hapa, being powerful, changamoto ambazo watoto wanazo. Jambo la kwanza ni hayo mmesema kwamba pengine polisi wanaweza kuwa wana shida, hata magistrate anaweza kuwa na shida na watoto vile anadeal na wao, hata children officer. Haya yote yalionekana na kuna vile tumeweka mikakati ya kujaribu kuona vile tunaweza fanya kazi pamoja tusuluhishe hayo, ikiwa ambaye amechukua trained aweze kukuzungumzia wewe kama mtoto, so that ukiingia kule unajisikia huko nyumbani. So ni hayo tabu yote inapeleka kituo cha polisi uweze kupata zile services unahitaji. So hizo ni kati ya yale mambo unafaa kuwa unajua ili uweze kuuliza iko wapi hii CPU, mbona haiko, na kama haiko tuelezewe ni kwa nini. So ni mambo ambayo mnaweza mkaulizia. Jambo la tatu, katika mahakama kuna koti ambazo zimewekwa kama children courts. Tunajua kwa saa hii pengine hazifanyi kazi fully kwa sababu ya upungufu wa wafanyikazi kwa koti hizi, lakini kuna koti ambazo zinafaa kuwa zimewekwa hata hiyo witness protection box. Ndio ukiingia pale, ikiwa wewe ndio shahidi na mtu amekudhulumu, usiweze kuonana na yeye macho kwa macho ili uweze kutoa ushahidi bila kuogopa. Kwa hivyo hilo ni jambo moja ambalo mahakama zinajaribu kuweka kwa kila koti ambayo inaitwa children's court, ili ukiingia pale uweze kufanyiwa kazi ama kupata service hiyo ya witness ama victim bila kuogopa. Maana utapata haki tu ikiwa utapeana ushahidi wako bila uoga bila intimidation, hiyo ndio inafaa kuwa vile. Kwa hivyo ni jambo ambalo linafanyiwa kazi. Ningeomba tu Gertrude kwamba upande wa DPP msimsubiri mtoto aseme anatishiwa. Ikiwa kuna kesi ambayo mtoto ndio victim, iwe ni jukumu la kwanza la mbule prosecutor kuona mshahidi wangu ni mtoto. Wacha mimi nimuulize, wewe uko sawa kutoa ushahidi mshtakiwa akiwa kotini? Na kikwambia hayuko sawa, uambie hakimu mtoto huyu leo hajisikii kutoa ushahidi mbele ya mshtakiwa kwa sababu anauoga, ili wewe na hakimu na wale wengine tuweke mikakati kotini. Mtoto akiingia asiwe ni wa tena kuanza kusema. So iwe ni jukumu letu kutambua tuko na mtoto ambaye ni witness ama ni victim, tumshughulikie mapema kabla ya yeye kuingia kotini. Kwa hivyo iwe jukumu ni letu, sio la mtoto kutuambia. So ningeomba tu hapo tuweze kufanya kazi pamoja, pale tuna kesi ambayo inahusu mtoto tujishughulishe sisi wenyewe. Maybe niseme pia kesi huwa zinachelewa. Hayo ni mambo tulipata na tunajua kesi za watoto saa ingine zinachelewa. Mtoto anakaa remand hata miaka 3, 4, 5 kwa sababu kesi imechelewa. Nayo sheria inasema tusiweke kesi ya mtoto zaidi ya mwaka. Ningependa kusema kwamba kama hiyo task force tulipata hivyo, na kuna mikakati tunaita service week ambapo kesi zote za watoto ambazo zimekaa zaidi ya mwaka zinaletwa katika mwezi mmoja. Tunajaribu kuzimaliza mwezi huo ili next year tukianza tusiwe na kesi ambayo imekaa zaidi ya mwaka mmoja. Kwa hivyo hilo ni jambo ambalo tunafanya wote pamoja, ODPP, probation, judiciary, wote ambao tunahusika na polisi wote huwa tunafanya hivyo tukisaidiana. Alafu jambo lingine ni mambo najua pengine mna habari ama maybe you may not know, but pia kuna mikakati ya kuhakikisha kwamba kuna counseling. Najua hakuna counselors ambao wamewekwa kotini, lakini koti ina jukumu kama unahitaji counseling, kama mtoto ambaye amedhulumiwa, koti itoe order ili uweze kupata hiyo huduma. Koti ya children, hata koti ya high court kama inaona ni kuna haja itoe order, huyu mtoto akona shida, alidhulumiwa, ameshindwa kuzungumza kotini, tunafaa kumtafutia counselor ili aende amuongeleshe, amtayarishe, akija kutoa ushahidi awe akili yake imetulia na ameelewa kwamba ama ile jambo lilimfanyikia, ile trauma tumedili nayo. So kuna mengi ambayo tunajaribu kufanya kuhakikisha access to justice, kwamba mtoto mahali alipo anaweza akapata haki. Najua hatujafanya 100%, najua bado tuko mbali, lakini vile mnavyotuelezea, vile mmesema leo, msiachie tu leo Day of the African Child. Tunaelewana? Msiachie tu leo wakati tuna celebrate Day of the African Child. Iwe kuna namna ya kusema. Kwa mfano, ikiwa umedhulumiwa na mzazi wako hataki kuchukua hatua, mwambie mtoto mwenzako. Anaweza kumwambia mzazi wake anaweza kwenda achukue jukumu la kumwelezea mtu mwingine ambaye anaweza kukusaidia ukiwa kule nyumbani. Mwambie mwalimu, najua walimu wengi huwa wanasaidia. Mwambie hata jirani ambaye unaona pengine huwa mnazungumza. Mwambie rafiki. Unajua, sengine kuna shida, unaweza kwenda polisi wakurudishe, ndio, nenda mwambie mtu mwingine. Hivyo usaidizi utapatikana. Hiyo ripoti itaweza kufikia wale ambao wanafaa kukusaidia wewe na kukutafutia ile service ambayo unahitaji. Nikimalizia tu, naomba tu NCCS vile tumetualika hapa leo, tuendelee na hii kazi. Mtoto News mnafanya kazi nzuri, tujaribu kutafutia watoto information ile wanahitaji, ili wao wenyewe wawe empowered mahali popote walipo. Nimesikia Garbatula, nimesikia Kilifi, nimesikia Mombasa, nimesikia Nikakuma huko pia, nimesikia mko huko. Ni furaha yangu kubwa kwamba nyinyi wote mnaweza kuaccess. Na sijasahau pia hii mambo ya mitandao. Saa hii tunatumia Zoom, tunatumia mambo ya internet. Najua kuna watoto wengi ambao hawafikii. Kwa hivyo ni jukumu letu kama wale watu tunahusika kuhakikisha kwamba pahali mtoto yuko anaweza akapata hiyo service. Kwa mfano wale ambao wako remand, najua wamepatiwa computers ili kesi zao ziweze kuendelea wakati hata tuko na COVID na waweze wakafika kotini. Na niseme hivi, kama kuna mahali ambapo mtoto huwa anasikizwa ni kotini. hata kama ni ile circumstance ambayo ikiwa umedhulumiwa na wewe ni shahidi, koti haina, it has no choice but to hear you. Pengine shida ni kwamba itakuwa hakuna witness box na nini, lakini utasikizwa, maana umeitwa hapo kama victim ama mtoto ambaye ni shahidi. So tukiwa kwa haya yote, sheria ziko, mjue hivyo. Kenya sheria tunazo za kutosha. Kama ni policy ziko, kama ni guidelines ziko, ni sisi tu ambao tuko kwa hii room na wale wengine wanahusika kuweza kutekeleza hayo mambo na kuhakikisha kwamba mtoto anapata haki. Na asanteni sana, nashukuru. Naomba muendelee vizuri. Kuna kazi nyingine nilikuwa naenda saa 7, ndio nilikuwa nimeomba mnipatie hii nafasi. Asante sana NCCS, asante sana Mtoto News na wengine ambao mko hapa. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Judge. Kabla hujaenda, kuna swali hapa hivi about intersex children. Wanauliza kwa sababu watu, kila mtu anasema mambo ya birth certificate, lakini kwao inakuwa shida kwa sababu ya kwa birth certificate imeandikwa girl or boy. Sasa shida yao inakuwa hawapati certificate, sasa inatuma hawawezi kwenda shule. Wanaweza kusaidiwa namna gani?
Asante sana kwa hilo swali. Ni swali nzuri. Mimi najua kwamba kuna mtoto akizaliwa akiwa intersex, wale ambao watoto wengine pengine hamtaelewa, huwa maana tunaangalia kama mtoto ni msichana ama ni mvulana kwa kuangalia sehemu nyeti. Lakini kwa mtoto ambaye anazaliwa na sehemu yake nyeti haijulikani vizuri sababu ya maumbile, vile tu alivyozaliwa. Sasa unapata daktari na mama hawawezi wakajua pale kwa pale kama huyu ni msichana au ni mvulana. Shida ambayo inaingia ni kwamba sheria yetu ilikuwa inasema tu kwamba inapeana tu jina la nafasi ya kuandikisha msichana au mvulana. Sasa unapata mtoto yule ataweza kulazimika kupewa jina la msichana ama jina la mvulana. So hiyo ndio imekuwa shida. Lakini saa hii nakumbuka kuna kesi ambayo ilipitishwa ikasema kwamba mtoto anaweza akaandikishwa vile mzazi atasema, na baadaye anaweza akabadilisha ikiwa atabadilika. Kwa maana intersex ni kwamba mwili wa huyu mtoto huenda ukabadilika akisha kuwa mkubwa, ukachukua ile nitasema nini, either iwe atakuwa awe msichana ama akisha kuwa mtu mzima aonekane kama mvulana. Na hiyo ni maumbile yake tu vile alivyozaliwa. So hiyo nafasi iko ya kuandikisha vile wakati amezaliwa wanaona, lakini nafasi iko pia ya kubadilisha hiyo ili aweze kuweka ile information ambayo itakuwa wakati ule. So sidhani hakuna inaitwa nini, kitu ambacho kinazuia huyu kupata certificate of birth. Shida ilikuwa hapo mbeleni ni kwamba ilikuwa ni lazima iandikwe hapo huyu ni msichana ama huyu ni mvulana, lakini kuna cases, ni vile sikumbuki citation, ambayo ilisema kwamba hata mtoto ambaye amezaliwa intersex anafaa kupatiwa certificate of birth vile ambavyo wanaona wakati huo, na hakuna kitu cha kumzuia baadaye ikiwa atataka kubadilisha hiyo information. Na nafikiri hata wale ambao saa hii ni watu wazima, tangu serikali iwatambue intersex, wameweza kupata documents zao kwa majina na jinsia ambao wenyewe wameona. Ikiwa mtu alikuwa amezaliwa na akaitwa jina ya msichana na akaonekana ni msichana, lakini amekuwa mtu mzima na mwili umebadilika ukawa wa kijana, hiyo nafasi iko, inakubalika yeye kujiandikisha tena kama mvulana ikiwa mwili wake umekuwa mvulana ama kama msichana. So kusiwe na hofu. Katiba yetu imekubalia haya mambo na kuna kesi ambayo ilipitisha hivyo. Mtoto News. Hello. Umepotea.
This is Abdi NCCS. So thank you. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of NCCS, on behalf of the ministry, and on behalf of our children, I wish to take this opportunity to thank you a lot for having given your time. We know you are very busy, and we understand you are also going for another engagement. Thank you, and God bless you.
Bless you too, and have a very good day. Asanteni sana na siku.
Okay. Now colleagues, Director Nerea was also with us, but she had been having network problems. Director Nerea, can you hear us, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Are you getting
Director,
me?
go on. Let's 2 minutes, then maybe we can go on to the children and ask them if they have any questions for you. So, Director, karibu.
Okay, thank you so much, members. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I really appreciate and for the day and your time that you've taken for this particular day to celebrate our future, because indeed without these children, we would not have any future. So on behalf of the Ministry of Education, I would like to tell you as a child of Kenya that within the Constitution, it is your right to get education. And when you come to our Education Act 2013, Article 53, Article 58, it states very clearly that it is the right of each and every one of you to get a quality education, and it should be a free quality education. Na ndio hivyo serikali inawapatia na inalipa a free primary education capitation and a free day secondary capitation kwa watoto wetu wote nchini Kenya. Na pia tunapata mula ule ambao pia mnafanya mtihani. You are not paying any exams fee anymore. Hiyo ni kazi ya serikali ambayo inafanya kwa watoto wetu wote, uwe katika shule ya private au shule ya serikali. Government inakulipia hiyo hela ya mtihani. Na kwa wale wako katika shule la upili secondary, we also have a medical scheme for you. Through NIF, ukienda hapo na utoe kadi, tuliwauliza walimu wenu wote to register you in the nearest institution, health institution. Na ukienda hapo ukiwa na shida utatibiwa bure, hata ukiwa nyumbani pia wakati wa likizo utapata hizo matibabu bure. Hata kama ni maneno yamekuwa magumu, inatakikana upelekwe nje, bado serikali itakulipia. So we have so many activities ambaye tunafanya. Na kwa wale wako katika mashule za primary, wasichana ambaye wako kwa classes 6 to 8, tunapata hizi sanitary pads mnapatiwa. Serikali inafanya mengi siku kwa, lakini kuna mengi ambaye serikali inafanya. Wakati huu hata tumewaletea msimu mpya ya CPC ambaye si kama ile mlikuwa nayo hapo awali ya ambaye ilikuwa kwa exams based. Saizi ni skills, talents ambaye tunaangalia. Kwa hivyo kuna mengi, lakini ningeuliza tu kama kuna maswali ambayo mnaweza kutupatia ili tujibu, kwa vile siku kwako mkiongea maneno ya elimu. Asante.
Madam Nerea.
Umenisikia?
Nakusikia. Sasa tunataka kuongea about aspiration 5. Yeah, which is on education. Nipate dakika moja nifungue sababu nimepotea.
With your permission, Chair.
Yes.
I just want to make a comment about our number.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Now, we do not have a toll-free number, but we have a number you can access us on. 0787 880 580. And then we are also, you can even, especially kama watoto, you can even reach us on, we are on Facebook and we are on Twitter. You can send us messages on our Twitter handle and even in Facebook, the inbox. tuko na watu ambao wameketi kuwasiliana na wengine through social media, wakati ambapo tuseme you're not able to access us on the phone. So Facebook tuko, Twitter tuko, tafadhali you can reach out to us. And pia jambo lingine nilikuwa nataka kuongeza ni kwamba ambapo sana sana kesi za defilement ambapo unapelekwa police station na mzazi na unaona kwamba mzazi hakutetei maslahi yako, you're also allowed to approach us kama prosecutor, na hata kabla tuende kotini unaweza kuja kutuongelesha, tunaongea mimi kama prosecutor ama kiongozi wa mashtaka na kuongelesha wewe bila mzazi akiwa karibu, kwa sababu tunaelewa wewe ndio the person who is suffering, wewe ndio umedhulumiwa. So if in case you feel that the people around you are not assisting you, please approach us, approach the Child Protection Unit, approach the gender office or approach the children officers. Peke yako tutakusikiza na tutazingatia na tutakushughulikia. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. I've just remembered we also have 116. So, yes. So Beatrice, for 2 minutes you can say how children can be able to report using 116. Beatrice?
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Children, we have an emergency helpline number that is meant to assist you, so you can call whenever you have any issues, be it you want to talk to someone about anything that you feel that you want to be listened to, be it that you have issues with academic performance, you're stressed, you don't know how, maybe the exam is stressing you up, you need to call 116, or any other issue that you feel that you want to talk to us about, be it child abuse, that you yourself, you're going through abuse, or your friend, or even your neighbor is going through abuse, feel free to call 116. It is free to call from Airtel and Safaricom lines. And whenever you call, you're able to reach us at any time of the day, be it during the day or during the night. We are always there available. We have counselors sitting in, waiting for your call for that support. In an instance where you call us and the call is not going through, maybe because so many people are calling, we also have social media accounts. We have a WhatsApp number. It is 0722 116 116. So you can drop a message or a chat and we'll be able to call back, or we'll be able to get back to you. We also have a Facebook account, Child Helpline 116 Kenya. Child Helpline 116 Kenya. You can chat us also through Twitter at Childline Kenya. And then we also have an email, 116@childlinekenya.co.ke. 116@childlinekenya.co.ke. So reach us at any time of the day or night, and we will be there to support you. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. So, Madam Norea, we are going to go and talk about Aspiration 6, which says every child benefits from full quality education. Every child has a right to basic education. This means, children, that you need to have to go to school, a school that is well equipped, that it has books, it has chalk, it has pencils, it has writing materials. The classroom should be good quality. And then number 2, they should have enough time. Okay, and it should be able to help you reach your potential as a child, or be what you want to be. You have any questions or concerns around Aspiration 6? I know we had 2 children from Child Space, and then the rest of us start lifting up your hands, and then we can start. So from Child Space, the 2 children. You're muted.
Hi, my name is Margaret Singh. I'm 15 years of age. I am a member of the Smart Children Club and a child space organization. I'm also the integrity champion of the club. I got the information last night through my mentor, Mr. Crispin Okelo, that today African children are going to be celebrated, that today I am going to be celebrated. And it made me quite unhappy because it's our day, but many of us don't actually know about this. They are not able to get a chance to participate in this. I am lucky to find a platform for my voice to be heard at the national level. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I briefly went through the 10 aspirations, and the one which caught my eye was aspiration 6, which says that every child benefits fully from quality education. We thank our government for putting in place schools, from trying hard to make sure that we access and have quality education. But do we really have quality education? We know many children have education, but not quality. Why? Why education? First of all, we can see that one of them is poor infrastructure in schools. There are schools which don't have, there are still schools which are has grass touched classes, which makes it hard for pupils to study in. And also long distance walking, you can find that you are from your home and the schools is miles and kilometers away. So this is a challenge. Children, sorry about that. Another challenge is a non-friendly environment. As children, we need to be provided by a friendly environment for. In the poor infrastructure, let me add on something. You can see that it is massively contributed by corruption. You can find that the government is given finance to help us on the ground in terms of education. Find that help, that quality education that we need. A good example is the hearing impaired. An example is our school, Babadogo Primary School. It is faced by many challenges because you can find that the personnel there are not many, the classes are few, the children are many, the infrastructure is bad, the environment is not quite welcoming, and yet to expect we to have quality education. If you followed the news lately, you will see that many children chose the high schools like Pangani Girls and the Kenya High Girls School. Why did most of them not choose the other school? Is it because they're underdeveloped? Is it because they have poor infrastructure? Is it because they are non-friendly? Well, these things are, the government should see how they can improve the infrastructure, the environment, and everything. So my suggestion is that the government should put in place and train enough teachers, sign language interpreters for the hearing impaired, and also provide enough classes for the hearing impaired, and train many personnel. So my question is, how can the government ensure that we have quality, every child access actual quality education and not in theory? Thank you very much.
And not in theory, Madam Nerea. Not in theory. So, Odhiambo? Odhiambo? We're waiting for your children. Okay, Odhiambo, you have joined with 2 gadgets, so you have to switch off one because of the feedback. Okay, Lina?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Lina.
I would like to ask about the medical scheme, which she said about the high school students.
but it is only provided for public schools. Yet there are some private schools which have sponsored students. Can they do something about the sponsored students?
Thank you so much, Lina. Daktari, I hope you had that question. Odhiambo? Okay, Patrick? Patrick?
The question is, when you find a child who come from a poor place, so that he can be registered at the school. But because of poorness, they cannot register you, and they just go back home because they're just poor.
We have lack of enough classes. Like now in class 7, we have only two classes, and you will find that in one class have 200 and above children. And also the other thing, let us say like you get a sick, and then while you are in school, headmaster will send you at the hospital, and then if you reach at the hospital and they know that you are a student, but they don't care about you. Will see that you go back at home maybe at 4 p.m. And also that one can lead us students not to attend school every day.
Another one is this: a person who come from a poor family, so it lacks subjects and also exercise book for writing. So and UNHCR provide us exercise, but when the teacher give us exercise book, so exercise do not reach to everyone or any child. So others lacks exercise. So that it comes.
And lastly, one more person.
Pale kama mtu hauna mguu alafu watu kwenda nini shule ni ngumu sana, sababu hakuna mbele, alafu na ako na shamba.
I didn't get that one. Okay, so Asante Patrick. Cornelius?
For what you have said, in accordance to me, in our school, there's lack of classes and there's lack of money. We don't have a laboratory and even a library. So we were just asking for the government to help us with those things.
Thank you so much. Brian King?
Hello. So education is a matter I'm pretty passionate about because it's one of the issues that concerns me year round, day in, day out. So do Kenyan children, do African children get quality education? Well, I'd say probably not. Because according to me, quality education is the key of effective education. An education which can help children to access, know what they want, be able to. Kenyan children, maybe in urban centers, maybe are able to access the quality education, but when it comes to places like Uganda, well, they end up not accessing the education at all because maybe of poor infrastructure, someone has said, lack of teachers, and even if it's not a lack of teachers, maybe underqualified teachers who are maybe teaching in high school but are supposed to be teaching in primary, but because of they end up yeah. So according to me, the Kenyan child might be probably the Kenyan child in maybe the rural places. the places where the under-fertilized places, they might not be accessing quality education at all.
Thank you so much. David, lastly.
Hi, my name is Fanny, and I want to input something about education. The class 8 people, the people who have just finished class 8, sometimes it's difficult for them to join Form 1 since the principal wanataka kitu kidogo, na hii inafanya mpaka watu wengine wanaachia hapo, na wengine wanaanza kutafuta kazi juu ya hiyo kitu kidogo hawana.
Na pia wengine wangu wanafukuzwa school fees, na nasema nanio secondary education is free. Kwa nini wanafukuzwa school fees?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Which county is that? She's from Mombasa. Okay.
Mombasa County.
Okay, Susan Kive.
My name is Margaret. Talk about education, that most of the children who have finished class 8 cannot get education for free because many teachers want
Something wrong with your microphone, Margaret? Margaret, your microphone has an issue. Okay, as you're fixing that, can we speak to Philemon? Okay, Madam Nerea, umesikia maswali?
Naam, nimesikia maswali, and I can see that education is really loaded. There's a lot of concerns from our clients, which is very good because to us is a way of feedback. One issue that has come out and repeated itself is a poor infrastructure in our schools. Hello? A poor infrastructure in our schools that hinders the delivery of quality education. We do appreciate their concerns, but I want to say that the government has been working around the clock, and if you see the concerns of the government, even now the CDF, which initially at various constituency levels was meant to cater for several other sectors, now is mainly for security, education, and health. So the CDF is there. We also have other partners coming in, but as a government, we have also tried the best we can to ensure that we provide quality education to all our learners. I know we have not done the much that we could because of the number that we have. For primary schools, we are talking of around 25,000 primary schools. For secondary schools, we have around 5,000 or to 6,000 schools. So it's not quite easy for the government to do that. Also, the economic situation that we have. But so far, the government is doing their best. The long distance to schools, we do appreciate that sometimes we have places that we have to cover long distances to school, but we know that we have given the mandate to the community to provide the land. And once they've provided the land, we come in to assist in the construction of the classroom so that we reduce this distance that the young ones covers. Currently, I want to trust that you cannot cover more than 2 kilometers before you get to a school. I know Nairobi could be a bit different, especially if you go to places like Embakasi, where we have scarcity of schools. But the challenge that the government has with these areas is the land. The moment the government gets at least a leeway, they will definitely do a school for us all. And because our target is to have each and every child go to school. From ECD, you move to grade 1. Where we have a problem with the choices of our schools are totally free. If you go to a school and the principal asks you to pay any money in order for you to be admitted, you have all the reasons to report even to the nearest education office, report even to the police, because that is corruption at the highest level. We don't encourage, that is not part of the mandate of the Ministry of Education. We do encourage 100% transition from ECD to grade 1 and from class 8 to Form 1. So each and every child who starts for KCPE, you're supposed to join Form 1. The only problem that we normally have, parents normally prefer some particular schools, and you find them clogging into that school. Perhaps there may not be space for them. Like currently with the COVID situation, we have ensured that the boarding facilities that are within our institution can be enable us to move closer to the guidelines of the Ministry of Health. Though it's a bit difficult because of our number. And you've seen our CS coming more often than not saying that social distancing in our schools, because of our number, has become a bit of a challenge. When we come to learners with either hearing impairment or the ones that requires brailles, as a ministry, we have now moving forward, and we have actually moved forward to ensure that we provide these gadgets. What we normally do, we normally give funds to schools because schools have different needs. So the schools will sit with their board of governors and choose the gadgets that they require at that particular time, the kind of gadgets and the level of the gadgets that they require. So as a ministry, we normally follow up, but if there is a chance, a gap somewhere, we are very keen to move in and take any action. These are not theory, but things on the ground. If you go to Kenya Institute for Special Needs Education, you will find that we have a lot that we have done there. And from there, we distribute them also to the other parts of the country where we have all our SNE schools. And by the way, they're distributed all over in the country. There are around 3,000 public SNE schools. Medical schemes, yes. Currently, we are only taking care of learners in public schools, in secondary schools, up to the last respect. Maybe moving forward, we move step by step. Just the way we have done with education, that we have not discriminated, whether you are in private school or public school, we pay for your examination fee. So it is a step at a time. First, we have started with public secondary schools. Then we will move to public primary schools, and thereafter we will embrace everybody. Lack of infrastructure, inadequate facilities, inadequate classes, inadequate labs. I know because of our number, we may not have enough classrooms, but what I can say that our classroom is 70 for primary. At secondary, we have it at 50. But we know that we sometimes go beyond that because of our number and the demand from the parents on particular schools. But moving forward, I know that we have also given money to our schools, both primary and secondary, to expand, especially where we have large number of classes. I can give example of primary schools where we have large number of classes, but we have come in to see to read that the learners are more comfortable, the environment can be friendlier. For example, if you go to Olympic Primary School, which is have over 1,000, over 5,000 around. Say for the space that is a problem, even for secondary schools, that is what we are doing. What we are doing as a government, we are now encouraging more of day learning. During COVID period, we did experience that why we could not open schools and move in tandem with other regional countries within the East African region was because we rely so much on our boarding facilities. But if we go fully a day school, learners come from home. After learning, they go back home. We will not talk of the issues of inadequacy, even in the classrooms, because even the dormitories can be turned into classrooms. Exercise books, where we do not have it, we normally give funds to schools through capitation. That is what we called the free primary education capitation, because for textbooks, we buy them centrally and then we distribute to each schools. Like currently, we have distribution that will start on Monday for all our primary schools. And to us, the target is a ratio of 1:1. And equally to secondary schools, now we are moving to give out the set books. We have already done with the course books. And moving forward, we hope that we'll have a situation where we have 1:1 ratio. In primary school, other than the additional learners who came from private schools, we now have a ratio of 1:1, especially in grade 1 to grade 4. Where we are not selected to a school of choice, I don't know, I didn't get it so well. Our selection exercise now is automated. When you sit for your KCPE, we give you chances to choose the schools of your choices. We also allow you to discuss the same with your parents and come up with schools that eventually that is a school. If your marks are within the level of that school, you will join the school. But no bribing do we encourage, neither should you give any money to any principal in order for you to get a chance. Remember that the giver and the receiver both are criminals, because why should you give money if it is your right to get a free, fair admission into an institution of learning, especially the public institution, and even private institution, you're not supposed to pay anything. I want to trust that the ones that I got, those are the areas that I can answer. Unless there is one that is not clear, please, I'm still available for more questions. Thank you.
Madam Nerea, there is a question on the chat box. How can the government help the intersex student who has currently changed their birth certificate names and have not changed their KCPE names, or to sit for their KCSE exams without being affected by the names?
Okay, thank you so much. What we have done, as long as the birth certificate has been changed and there is documentation to support the same, affidavit has been sworn, and then during the registration process, we write to NEC. And after sitting for the exams, even the KCP certificate will be changed to reflect the name that the learner will be using at that particular time. So the process is allowed. Now that the government has also recognized the same, as a ministry, we have moved in tandem with that. Thank you.
The next aspiration is, let me read number 7. Every child is protected against violence, exploitation, neglect, and abuse. Okay, children should not face violence, exploitation, on abuse or neglect. So this means that you should not be abused, and whenever there is abuse or anything, the government should respond. They should provide support for you if you are abused or neglected. Okay, and the government should have ways or mechanism to ensure that you are protected from violence and abuse. So I want to see your concerns or questions to hear, and NCCS, you can say a little bit what you do around that area.
Thank you very much, all participants, particularly our children. The National Council for Children's Services, as the government advisory body, especially on policies and other related matters in the best interest of and the text actually the regulatory part, the oversight part, and the coordination part of children activities. We know there are many policies and many legal documents that the Council has developed and together with other partners in the protection of our children. Right now, there was the survey on the violence against children, but together with our partner UNICEF, we are now following on the implementation and the Department of Children's Services on the National Prevention and Response Plan against the violence. Alongside it also we have the policy on child online sexual exploitation and protection. We now wish to welcome you to ask maybe your questions. There are several children officers within the forum and other experts, legal experts, and we will try our best to respond to your questions. But we stand committed to ensure that every child is protected from all form of violence and abuse and exploitation. We also wish to urge all actors also to collaborate and make sure that our children are protected. As having been mentioned by some of our children even in the onset of the COVID-19 had seen the rise in some of the abuse cases of children, especially in defilement. But at the same time also we wish to congratulate actors in the children justice system for their innovation to ensure that they have come up with adaptive innovations to make sure that serving the children also continued at this time. We thank also the government that children's service has been recognized as an essential service, and in the midst of the pandemic, children officers and other actors in the children's sector and other authorized officers are able to continue dispensing the due administration required in terms of giving the right justice and attending to all children. But we can go to the question session, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Bonanur. David, you can ask your question.
Hey, my name is Trevor, and I have a question on the aspiration. How are you sure that all children are protected from the violence? You should set up some organization or stations which children could go and help themselves from the violence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Anybody else with a question? Okay, can I ask you a question now? Okay, oh yes, Susan?
How does violence affect?
How does violence happen? Yeah. So, any other question? Yes, Brian King.
Violence towards the children, because violence can be based from one child to another child. With violence for child, it can be physical violence, mental violence, or just psychological violence as well. So does it cover
Okay, Brian, we can't hear you.
it in general, or protection from violence?
Okay, what does the violence cover? Is it physical, emotional, or everything? Yes,
I
go
have a
on,
question.
Julius. Okay, go on. Who said has a question? Yes, Stella.
How does these children survive without knowing their parents?
Which children, Stella?
Those who lives in children's home.
Okay, how do they survive without knowing their parents? Thank you so much, Stella. Yes, Odiambo?
I want to send a question.
Yes. Endelea, Stella. Umeuliza utauliza afu ukaenda.
Nauliza tu watu wenye wanaishi children's home wanasurvivingiaje bila wazazi wao, na mtu mwenye wao anaishi na wao anawalipiangaje school fees wa watoto wote?
Asante, Stella. Kuna swali lingine? Okay, asante.
Hello.
Yes, go on, Adiambo.
Hello, I'm Jafar. What is the government doing to promote child protection unit at the police station?
In where?
Police station.
In the police station.
Yes.
Good question. Hope Gertrude is still with us. Any other questions, guys? Brian King, we want to talk, but your audio is so bad. We can't hear you. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Do you think the government is doing enough to protect you? And then do you think that if they got enough people to protect you? And then what do you do yourself to protect each other or to protect yourself? Yes, Philemon?
Yes, hello, I'm getting you.
Go on.
Hello?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, according to me, that I'm Oscar, and I'm from Laramata KDP. So my question is not yet still because I can say urban children are somehow being left behind. So kindly let the government at least to get into remote areas, because many of the children in remote areas are being defiled, that they don't even know and they don't even understand about their rights. So kindly let the government to intervene in the remote areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else with the Philemon who wants to ask a question?
Did know?
Yes, go on.
So that was my question about that the government, let the government get into remote areas, please, madam.
Thank you. No, it's not rock. Ilelamatak. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I think they don't have a lot of questions for this aspiration.
wenye kuna violence ya
Uko
kuwasaidia
nayo? Aya, sema Ali, sawa.
I wanted to say that the government is doing a lot for to us, and what I wanted to request is that there should be a rescue center per county, not only Bungoma County, for those street children who are wandering. And so as we celebrate this African Day Child, we should not forget them. They should also celebrate. That's what I have.
Thank you so much, Bungoma. Anybody else?
Thank you very much, our children. David, how are you making sure that from violence? David, the government has put up several structures for the protection of children, and still the government is improving to make sure that those structures are improved. And top here we have the National Council, we have the Department of Children's Services, we have other agencies also in the justice system, judiciary, the police, the national government, administrative officers. At the same time also the government ensures that there is enough staffing. We know there may be some places that may not have enough staff, but